Imagine you're lost in a forest. You don't know where you're going, you don't have a map, you don't have a compass, you don't even know which direction is north. Suddenly, hundreds of people emerge from the trees. One says, "Buy my course." Another says, "Buy my book." Another says, "Buy my premium newsletter." Another says, "Join my mastermind group." Another says, "Smash that subscribe button. Congratulations, you've just entered the financial advice industry. An industry worth billions of dollars, whose core business model is explaining money to people who wish they had more of it. And the strange thing is, the advice is often surprisingly simple. Spend less than you. Earn DUT, avoid high-interest debt. Invest consistently. Diversify. Think long-term. That's basically it. Thank you for watching. Unfortunately, if financial influencers ended videos there, they'd have approximately 12 subscribers. So instead, the internet has transformed basic financial concepts into a never-ending content machine. Because here's the problem. Good financial advice is usually boring, painfully boring, mind-numbingly boring. The kind of boring that makes watching paint dry feel like an action movie. Imagine a financial advisor starts a YouTube channel. Every video says, continue investing in low-cost index funds, week after week, month after month, year after year. Technically correct, financially responsible, completely unwatchable. Nobody wants to hear that the secret to wealth is patience. People want hidden tricks, insider secrets, ancient financial wisdom discovered in a cave by a millionaire monk instead. They get spreadsheets, and so the industry evolved because attention is valuable. Very valuable. The internet rewards people who say, here's the one stock that could change everything. Not, maintain a diversified portfolio aligned with your risk tolerance. One of those gets millions of views. The other sounds like a warning label, and that's where things get weird. The incentives aren't always aligned. Think about it. Imagine two creators. Creator A says, invest regularly for 30 years. Creator B says, the economy is about to collapse. Here's what billionaires are secretly buying. Guess which thumbnail gets clicked out exactly? Humans are naturally drawn to excitement, and personal finance is often sold as entertainment, which creates a strange situation. The people getting the most attention aren't necessarily the people giving the best advice. They're often the people telling the most interesting stories. Now, to be fair, there are plenty of excellent financial educators. Some provide genuinely valuable information. Some simplify complicated topics. Some help millions of people improve their finances, but the industry itself, very strange, because in almost no other field do we treat expertise this way. Imagine a surgeon says, medical school taught me everything I know. Reasonable. Imagine a finance influencer says, I made money during a bull market. Suddenly, they're a prophet, a market guru, the chosen one, the oracle of TikTok. The reality is that making money once and understanding money are not always the same thing. Sometimes people mistake luck for genius, especially during booming markets. When everything is going up, everybody looks smart. A monkey throwing darts at stock tickers can accidentally become an investing legend. For a while, then comes another weird part, the endless search for financial hacks. The internet loves hacks.life. HACKS, productivity hacks, fitness hacks. Apparently, we all live one clever trick away from becoming billionaires. But real wealth creation is usually less exciting. It's often decades of consistent behavior, saving, investing, avoiding catastrophic mistakes. That's not a hack, that's maintenance. Nobody wants to hear that financial success often resembles brushing your teeth, small actions, repeated consistently, over long periods, not glamorous, very effective. Yet, every day, people search for shortcuts, because shortcuts are exciting. Patience is not. This creates a bizarre ecosystem where creators constantly need new content. And that's difficult because money itself doesn't change that much. The fundamentals remain surprisingly stable. So eventually, the content starts getting creative, very creative. The millionaire morning routine, the billionaire water bottle, the exact breakfast of successful investors. As if Warren Buffett's success came from choosing the correct cereal, at some point, financial advice begins drifting dangerously close to astrology, only with more spreadsheets. Then there's the luxury problem. Many financial creators eventually become wealthy, which creates a fascinating challenge. Their audience wants advice on surviving rising grocery prices. Meanwhile, the creator is filming from a house large enough to have its own weather system. This can create some awkward moments. A millionaire explaining budgeting to people living paycheck to paycheck sometimes sounds like a giraffe explaining ladder safety. Not impossible, just slightly disconnected. Then we have the course phenomenon, one of the most impressive business models ever invented. Imagine teaching people how to make money, then making most of your money teaching people how to make money. It's beautifully self-referential, like a snake teaching a seminar on snake ownership. Now, not all courses are bad. Some are genuinely useful, but the economics are fascinating. Many people become financial influencers because teaching finance is more profitable than the financial strategy they're teaching. Think about that for a second. The biggest irony of the industry may be that the most lucrative investment is often the audience itself. Another strange feature: everyone is simultaneously a genius and a victim. When markets rise, I predicted this. When markets fall, nobody could have seen this coming. Financial forecasting is one of the few professions where being wrong repeatedly doesn't necessarily end your career. Sometimes it improves it, because every prediction creates another prediction, and every prediction creates more content. It's the economic equivalent of a television series that never gets canceled. Then there's the motivational side. Financial content often mixes money with personal identity. Work harder, wake up earlier, optimize everything, track every dollar, read 30 books a month, listen to podcasts at double speed, sleep only when financially independent. Some advice is genuinely helpful. Some makes it sound like becoming wealthy requires transforming into a productivity cyborg. At some point, you're not building wealth. You're preparing for a mission to Mars. But perhaps the weirdest thing about the financial advice industry is this: most people already know the basics. Not everyone, but many. They know saving matters. They know debt can be dangerous. They know investing is important. The challenge usually isn't information, it's behavior. Humans aren't spreadsheets. If we were, personal finance would be easy. Nobody would buy things they don't need. Nobody would panic during market crashes. Nobody would order takeout 4 times a week while researching early retirement. Yet here we are. The gap between knowing and doing is enormous, and no amount of motivational content completely solves that. Which is why the industry keeps growing, because people aren't buying information. They're buying reassurance, confidence, hope, direction, a feeling that somebody understands the chaos. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Money can be confusing, the economy can be confusing, retirement planning sounds suspiciously like a math problem invented by us. People naturally seek guidance. The issue isn't asking for advice. The issue is remembering that advice is still a product, and products are sold. The person giving advice may also be selling ads, courses, books, newsletters, memberships, coaching, sponsorships, or all of the above before lunch. That doesn't automatically make the advice bad, it just means incentives matter. And incentives explain a lot about why the industry behaves the way it does. So why is the financial advice industry weird? Because the best advice is often boring. The most popular advice is often exciting. The people teaching wealth sometimes earn more from teaching than investing. The experts compete with entertainers. The algorithms reward drama, and everyone is searching for a shortcut to a process that usually takes decades. In other words, it's an industry dedicated to helping people make rational financial decisions, while operating inside one of the least rational environments imaginable. The internet, which explains a lot. And if someone online promises you'll become rich with one weird trick, remember, the weird trick is usually selling you the weird trick.